all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
On a lap right now. On a lap right now. Just let me get through this one and I'll be right with you, okay? Yeah, just give me through this lap and I'll be right with you, fellas. All right. Yeah. That's all right. Actually, a relatively decent time for me, so we'll go from there. No, the Mercedes. Yeah, 513. No. You're thinking of Solomon. Director. A little frustrating. Had some issues with the start procedure, but it is what it is. We'll go for the next one. Yes. So it's a yearly endurance series that we're doing. We're kind of doing quarterly championships. You don't have to be there for every single race for the quarterly championship. We would like for you to be, but we're a relatively small community. So if you have a small group of buddies that you just want to race in a 4-hour race, come and join us.
Well, I apologize, Derek. Apparently they couldn't hear me, but you said it's where? The 4 hours of where?
It is the 4 hours is older.
Zolder.
It is August 20th at 12 Eastern summertime. So
right. Well, how do you feel like you're going to fare in this race?
I'm a little far behind practice-wise. Went to Indianapolis over the weekend with my wife to go see some Indy cars and NASCARs.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, I had some medical issues to tend to yesterday with my spouse, so I wasn't able to really practice until late this afternoon. So a little bit behind it, but we'll see what happens. I've always been a better racer than qualifier, so.
Well, I look forward to seeing you charge through the field. I'm sorry to hear about the medical issues, but I hope you had a good time at Indy.
Yes, always a good time. To not be at work and be at a racetrack, so those are always positive times.
So for Indy, I like watched IndyCar, but I wasn't able to watch it this weekend. Who won?
That would be Colton Herter was comfortably in the lead, and him and Charles Leclerc must have the same luck because his car failed, and Alexander Rossi's teammate was able to pick up his first win since 2019. So,
oh wow,
it was cool to see Rossi finally win, but you gotta feel bad for Colton.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Derek. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna go ahead and throw you back in the championship chat. And if
anytime.
If anybody's interested, feel free to join GRG Esports for that 4 hours is older. They're a great organization, and I'd love to see some of y'all there.
Just status on discord.gg and GRG Esports. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, Dave.
No problem. See you, Derek. That was not a paid ad. GRG doesn't pay us, sadly. But y'all really should go check out their series. They're a really good group of guys. Going and looking at qualifying. I know I've kind of neglected it for a little while. Sorry about the mic issue for those of y'all. I was commentating, but only to myself. Right now we have Nixon in pole. We'll go and ride on board with him with a 54.9. That is blazing fast. In practice, he set a 55 flat. Peter O'Brien with a 55.1. I know in practice he was able to get a 54.6, I believe. So he has a lot of pace left in his pocket. He just needs to pull it out. Jeffrey Bray in third with a 55.1. And all these drivers, second and third, within a few hundredths of each other, and 2/10 separating first and third. So that's going to be a hell of a fight for the podium. So just to go ahead and reiterate, because apparently I missed it earlier, it happens, or not missed, but this is our second round of the inaugural GT4 Plebian Racing Series at Watkins Glen, New York. This is going to be two 30-minute sprint races, one during the day, one at night. Beautiful sunny day out here for qualifying, and for the second race, I am sure it will be sunny, but it'll be interesting watching how these drivers deal with not only the visibility change, but the temperature change. I hope all these drivers have made a night setup and they're ready, or else they are going to be in for a surprise. Yeah, Derek, there are some rather fast people, but as you see, Adrian Pezzelato is in fourth right now, going slightly faster every time in the 55.1s. He is new to this little group right here and would love to see him place himself on that front row. In fact, if I could see him get a surprise pole position, I am sure he will be ecstatic. Carson Schultz in fifth. This is his first race in the GT4 series. We're not new to Carson. We're used to driving with him, but this is our first race with him in the GT4 series. Having him in fifth, now sixth, is incredibly shocking. We know he's fast, but we usually don't see him around the pace of these guys. Eric Diaz is new to us. And Colin Marshall, he raced with us in the Plebian World Tour Season 2, but unfortunately, due to personal reasons, he had to drop out. We're happy to have him back. But there are a bunch of new people at the front with Juan Carres and Smalls, Dean Solomon. I remember meeting Smalls when he was in Rookies. The fact that he is keeping up with the pro drivers now is incredible. Let's see. Right now we are with Don Devian. I will stop trying to pronounce his last name during the race in case he comes back and watches this. He's going a little bit slow on this lap though, so let's try to find someone who is positive on their delta. We got Mike Middleton right now in the McLaren. He is down 1/10 on his delta. See what kind of lap he can put together. He has lost that 1/10. It's on Peter O'Brien. Lay it down from TJ. Ooh. Did Peter... Oh, he did set fastest lap. Wow, and a 54.9. Matching Jordan, who had a 54.95. That is insane. I drove Watkins, and I don't consider myself slow, but they're making me feel it. Eric Diaz at a 55 flat. And I know Pezzelato in practice was able to get a 55 flat, so I'd love to see him be able to pull it out. Go ahead and join them. Like I said, on the front row would be sick, but just looking at the drivers around him, just seeing them put himself at least on the second row, I would be beaming if I was him. Speaking of Pezzelato, he is down 2/10 on his time. Going into the final corner, down 1/10. Looks like a little bit of a wonky exit. Down nothing. Crossing the line. He does not go faster. I'm sure he's kicking himself right now. Those 2/10 would have put him in the 54s. Just unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, we have Mike Middleton down 4/10, 3/10. Let's go ahead and ride with him. TJ, it's good to see you in chat with us, but it's unfortunate to hear you were not feeling well and couldn't attend the race. Luckily, there's a drop race, so it's not really going to affect your championship too much. But I know Nixon and O'Brien were both very happy to be able to challenge you, here at Watkins. So you will be missed. Middleton losing everything he had, putting himself at 0.1 second, or 0.1 down on his delta, only down by a 10th. Looks like he is holding up the driver behind, who I am not sure who that is. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it does happen. I know we also are missing another driver, Jordan White, who he, before the season, a month out, he was practicing Watkins, really trying to get his time down. It is his favorite track, and he really wanted to be here today, but unfortunately he just wasn't able to make it. It just wasn't in the cards, I guess. I feel for him too, because I know it is, like I said, it's his favorite track, and every once in a while when you get your favorite track, there's not many times you can actually end up getting your top tracks in ACC with such a limited track selection. But whenever those ones pop up that you really do love, like he loves Brands, he loves Watkins, just getting to race in those it can make your night. And unfortunately for Brands, he was wrecked out, and for Watkins, he can't make it, so I'm sure he's very disappointed with how his championship's going at the moment. Going back up into the top 5 is still Peter O'Brien, lowering to a 54.8. Wow. Nixon at a 54.95 still, looking to see what he can do to drop that time down. Diaz at a 55 flat, not far off Nixon. I'm sure he would like to be on that front row. Jeffrey Bray at a 55.1, also not far off Diaz. I'm sure he'd love to be starting in that starting in the line with all the grip. Get that better T1. And Pezzelato, who's a 55-1, maybe he can move himself up into the second row. Carson Schultz, again, a surprise to see him up here in P6. Right now we're riding with Colyn Marshall, who's blazing fast at a 55-4. Peter does it again. Yes, he does. Derek. How's the volume level, guys? I just want to go ahead and make sure. Thank you, Derek. So the amazing part about broadcasting Quali is you get a great chance to fix any bugs, work on everything, take some time to just see what you can work on, get everything situated for the race. The downside of broadcasting Quali is it's not until you get to these last little seconds, like we have right now, 20 seconds left, to where things are actually starting to go down. Let's see what the starting order ends up looking like. Colyn on his lap is down 3/10. He is not going to have time. Nope, we're going back to Colyn. He is not going to have time to do another lap. He's only down 1/10. He lost it all in that corner. Not down at all in his delta. See if he can drop anything and move himself up into that. Move himself up. Oh, back to Colyn. Auto cam, don't mess with me now. Down 1/10, getting ready. He has the slipstream. Everything he needs. Oh, what? That's not Colyn. There we go. And he sets his fastest lap, sadly not moving at all. That puts him at risk from Kurt, who's in pit, Gavin, who's out, but not. He's currently up on his delta, so it's not working out for him. Adrian Pezzelato, who's down 3/10, just set a fastest sector 1, I believe. Flying. He really wants to start on pole, and there it goes. Unfortunately for him, it looks like that 3/10 just slipped away. Commentators curse. Nobody tell him. See, Jordan Nixon in pit accepting his defeat in P2. Let me go ahead and get last week's pole sitter in chat and see what he has to say. Hey Jordan, are you here? I see you're muted. I see you're unmuted, so I'm assuming you're here. Welcome to the commentators booth.
All right.
There we go. I can hear you. Welcome to the commentators booth. E2 this time around. Are you surprised?
I mean, I'm surprised that TJ's not here. No, I mean, me and Peter did some practicing beforehand together. I knew we were going to be right on top of each other, so it'll be interesting because the Alpine has a little bit of speed on me, so he'll be faster down the straight, and I'll be a little faster in the corners. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
That's not something I believe I've ever heard about the Alpine, is that it's faster on the straight.
It's faster than a Maserati. Well, I'm running max wing, so there's that.
Oh, are we going to see any interesting moves T1, or are you going to try to play it out throughout the race? You only have 30 minutes to get something done.
I don't know. I might have hired some help to take out Peter as a doomsday plan. So we'll see.
How much did you pay Carson?
That is private information.
Oh, okay.
Can't give out my sources.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to go ahead and throw you back up into the race chat. Good luck this race. Oh, wait, you don't want good luck. Bad luck this race. Hope the worst things happen to you.
That's like the double commentator curse, because you already said good luck, so it's already there, and then you said bad luck, so, it's all right. Whatever happens is on you.
Thank you. All right, good luck this race exists. To the race chat you go. Bye, Nixon, and thanks for your time. Adrian Pezzelato, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, great, great. Happy to have you here. You had the fastest sector one on that last lap. What happened?
I don't know how I managed to blow half a second, man. I like it's sort of one of those things where you see the time going down and you get more and more desperate to get it back, and you keep blowing it and blowing it and blowing it. I'm like, oh Jesus. So I think I don't know, man. I'm lost for words. I'm like disappointed in myself and defeated.
You gotta be happy with P5, right? Especially looking at the names around you.
100%, man. Like I was like what P15 or something like that last week. Like I don't know if it's the track or if it's the weather. I don't know, man. The car just feels like completely hooked up. I was just pushing it way too hard there.
Sorry, I'm thinking about it, pushing way too hard. You shot a little bit wide and it just didn't work out for you. But I'm looking and I was amazed to see the names you're by. I know you hold Penguin highly in your driver ratings, right? And every single one of those guys around you could give Penguin a run for his money any race. And
you're just inflating my ego a little bit here, man. I don't know. It was just like a miraculous. I'm probably gonna blow it. Like I choke. So expect me to. Although I see apparently there's like an issue with mandatory pits. I don't know if you're seeing that.
I don't see anything except for the HUD that I'm not supposed to be seeing. There we go.
Okay, so like there was talk about 99 mandatory pits in a 30-minute window going on. So I don't know what we're gonna do with that. But yeah, I don't know what happened. But it's 99. I'm seeing right here 99 mandatory pits. I don't know.
Well,
but anyways, yeah, it was a great lap. Right, it was a great first sector. Let's put it that way.
It's a shame we didn't get to see what it turned into, but I'll see you again if you end up on the podium. Congrats on starting P5. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, man.
That was Adrian Pezzelato. So let me go ahead and go down the starting order of this race. I do not know what's up with those 99 pit stops. Not what we want to see, but starting in pole, we have Peter O'Brien. Starting in P2, Jordan Nixon. P3, Eric Diaz. P4, Jeffrey Bray. That's the first two. Rows. I can't speak for anything. Lining up. After that, filling out the top 10, we have Adrian Pezzelato, Carson Schultz, Juan Carez, Colin Marshall, Kurt Moss, and Gavin Moore at P10. P11 through P20, we have Dean Solomon, Stephen Smalley, who has only been sim racing for a brief time in P12, but managed to shoot up in speed, and he was only a few tenths off of being able to be in those first few rows. 13 is James Leader, who I would have expected to see more around P8. Surprisingly, Bob Robson, who I believe was in the top 5 at Brands at P14. Mike Faisal from Pro Sim Racing, another great community like GRG. Feel free to check them out. They run championships on Thursdays. And Bob Robson announced as his P15. Don't ask me to explain it. Ilpo in P16. Mike Trey-Wicke in P17, Mike Middleton P18, Josh Mills P19, and Solomon Saad in P20. P21 through P30 is Keyshawn Hall, don't know the last name, Jake Falcher, Jake Hardy, the double Jakes, Tom Shirley, Derek McCord, John Crane, Corey Robbins, Tristan Blizzard, and Greg Schimmer. Greg is new to this series, and we are happy to have him here. Then P31 through P37, we have Ernesto Lopez, Michael Nico Medina, Michael Harrison, Rookie Fagan, and Ethan Lawrence. And P36, I mentioned P37, we have Joseph Chow, who is starting in the pits, presumably fixing this mandatory pit issue. Hopefully it is something we can fix relatively easily, but if we have a second start to the race, then, blame me all you want. Blame Joe all you want. Primarily blame Joe, please. Looking at Peter O'Brien's Rainbow Dash Alpine that he managed to put it on pole with. quite a bit of color, 20% cooler than all the other car liveries on the grid. I really like that blue. I think the livery turned out really well, and it was his first time making a livery. Jordan, do not blame. Oh, Nixon! Almost into the wall right there. Commentators cursed him almost. Yeah, it's a great livery for a first attempt at a livery. Let's see if we still have Mr. Chow in the pits. We do. So I have no idea what's going on with all of that. If the race does restart, I am not going through the grid again, and I will just be doing driver profiles. Getting ready to round the final corner with the 99 mandatory pit stop 30-minute race, which was an accident. There should be no pit count for this race, Derek. I do not know what happened. Let's rock TV2 going down the starting grid. You see Joseph Chow in pit. Green, green, green. Down they go. Jordan Nixon falling right behind Peter O'Brien, going down this pit straight into T1. Peter's able to keep it. Jordan in P2. However, Jeff in P3. Eric in P4. Eric on the inside of Jeffrey Bray, not able to keep it there, going through the uphill Essies. Doesn't look like anything's going to be done, but maybe that Maserati and that Alpine are awfully slow in the straight. Can Jeff do something going into the bus stop chicane? On the outside, are we going to see a overtake this early for P2? Why are we cutting away from such a great fight? Back to it through the bus stop. Doesn't look like anything happened. Jeff backed out, but that left Eric Diaz to get a chance on Jeff going through the carousel. And hazard lights from Nixon, or brake lights. Maybe that was some fancy trail braking we saw from him right there, as they are just pulling away from the rest of the grid. Carson Schultz able to maintain his gap, but see everybody else behind in a giant gap. Gavin Moore has pressure from behind on Colin Marshall, who's pressuring Adrian Pezzelato, who fell down to P8. He is going to want to recover that, but he only has 28 minutes to do so. Riding with Gavin, we're watching Colin Marshall behind him. Let's go ahead and swap to a TV cam, see if we can get anything going on. Dean Solomon making moves. Eric Diaz on Jeffrey Bray for P3, putting himself on the podium positions. What a great fight going on right here through the final few corners. Approaching the penultimate corner. Jeffrey looking to defend the inside. Fakes. Double move on the straight. You see Eric doing whatever he can, but Carson's looking to see what he can do to make a move going into the final corner. That McLaren has crazy straight line speed. If he doesn't get him here, he might get him on the back straight. Eric Diaz on the outside, too wide, is going to leave that opportunity just for Carson. On the outside, Eric Diaz, Jeffrey Bray, too wide, going down that straight. Like I said, Carson gets the exit he wants, sitting it right behind Eric Diaz, seeing what he can do to overtake. Sitting in the slipstream, Eric Diaz looking to make any move he can on the outside of Jeffrey Bray. Going ready to get into the bus stop. There's nothing Diaz can do. Carson can't do anything either. Oh, he sends it up the outside, right behind Bray, looking to see what he can do, but nothing can be made. Too much talking for me. I'm getting a coughing fit. You see Diaz pushing on Jeffrey Bray. Jesus. Smalls just made an overtake right there on Kurt Moss. Kurt Moss looking to see if he can do something around the outside of the carousel, but nothing to be made. Trying to send it up the inside, outside. Nothing, but it looks like Kurt's at risk from Bob Robson right behind. Going through the entrance to the boot, coming up to the boot. We're seeing Smalls go up the boot, braking, aiming towards the apex, seeing what he can do. Looks like there's opportunities being created. Meanwhile, Diaz is still right behind Jeffrey Bray, going down the back straight, seeing what he can do. In the slipstream, the KTM doesn't look like it has that top end to be able to do anything, but the McLaren does. Able to maintain within a 1 second gap. If he can get just a little bit closer, he can get that slipstream, which will give him all he needs to pass. Pezzelato, however, 2/10 behind Colin Marshall ahead, who's 3/10 behind Gavin Moore, looking to see whatever they can get done. You're seeing Colin look just sitting in that slipstream. All three drivers going through the final two corners. It's going to be very dependent on how you take this final corner, how much speed you can carry. And you're seeing all three drivers look to get about the same exit out of it. Pezzelato maybe making away best for it, able to avoid as much dirty air as possible and get that grip to launch himself forward. I wish you could be here as well, Jordan. It's not the same without you, unfortunately. But maybe next race. Do you know where we're racing next week? Meanwhile, Colyn's still looking to make a move on Gavin right now. Going through the uphill Essies, we're going to go back to this fight. I'm going to disable autopilot for now because it's done nothing but hurt. As we're watching on board, you see Colyn with Pezzelato up the inside. Decides to back out of it going into the bus stop. Gavin braking a little bit early. Narrowly avoids a collision. Playing peekaboo with the apexes. Doesn't look like it's working out for Colyn as he sees the first one but misses the second. Pezzelato looking to see what he can do, sending it up on the inside of the carousel. Looks like Colyn might be losing this position. Let's switch to the TV cam, see what happens. Through the inside, can he maintain a little bit of contact? Sending Pezzelato wide, leaving him in the clutches of Juan Carlos as he looks to go around the outside into the boot. Colyn making a way free, but you see Juan around the outside. He's not able to get anything done. Luckily, Pezzelato doesn't lose much from that contact. Kurt Moss, 3/10 behind Smalls, still looking to see what he can get made done right now. Meanwhile, going to our top three, we have Peter O'Brien, Jordan Nixon, and Jeffrey Bray. Jordan able to maintain within a second. We're seeing Kurt look to see what he can do on Smalls right now. Nothing really available. See if we have anything else that's a little bit closer. We have Jake Fulcher and Tom Shirley right now with a very close looking to send it up the inside. On Keyshawn is Jake, but nothing to be made. He backs out, decides to look for the move through the final corner, going down the pit straight, seeing if he can carry enough exit speed to make it happen in that Aston Martin. Can he end the slipstream? He has everything he needs, but you know he feels that pressure from Tom Shirley directly behind, and nothing happens. Meanwhile, Derek McCord and Greg Schimmer going at it through the final corner. A little bit of contact, it looks like, pushing from Derek on the inside, sliding in right behind Greg Schimmer. I believe that was an overtake 4 position. Derek under pressure right now from Corey Robbins directly behind, going down that pit straight. Corey looks like he has all the exits, all the speed he needs on this straight. Not the pit straight, I stand corrected. Going into the bus stop, is Corey going to look to make something around the outside? He does, but thinks better of it. Tries to slot in behind Derek, but Derek brakes a little hard, thinking Corey's going to go alongside. Almost turns into a nasty collision. Luckily, both drivers are wise enough to be able to avoid that. Woo! A lot of commentating. Pezzelato and Gavin Moore going at it again. Around the outside is Pezzelato, looking to see what he can do through the boot. Looks like Pezzelato got the exit too wide down the straight. Gavin a little bit faster in that BMW. Pezzelato, a little bit of contact. Luckily, everybody's following no netcode here. Going through the corner. Can the switchback happen for Pezzelato? No, it can't. Colyn gives him a little bit of a bump to try to help it happen, but nothing's coming of it. I need something to drink. My voice is getting hoarse. Okay. We have Pezzelato still looking to make a move on Gavin, sending it up the inside. No thinks better of it through the penultimate corner, getting ready for the final corner. It looks like Gavin went wide. This is exactly what Pezzelato needs to make this pass happen. Pezzelato losing out from 5th, down 2 positions this race. Why are we still in personal best? Let's go to race caps. I apologize. I should have had a backup commentator. You were right, Derek. I did not think this one through. I did not think we'd have this rate of action going on throughout the grid. Colyn going wide, leaving him to the clutches of Juan. I'm going to stay on this battle for a little bit longer. You see Adrian looking to see what he can do on Gavin. No, Gavin smartly closing all the doors, all the opportunities down the back straight. Pezzelato around the outside into the bus stop. Maserati's not known for its top end. Up the inside, no, nothing's available. Braking, just going to put him back into the clutches of Colyn. Not working out for him. Meanwhile, this is not the only battle going through the field. We have Bob Robson, Mike Faisal, both looking to see what they can do onto Kurt Moss for P11. Wow. There is some great defending, Derek. These drivers are showing just how talented they are It's really phenomenal driving. It's wearing me out, and I'm not even in the rig. This is insane. Mike Middleton, 3/10 behind James Leader, looking to see what he can get done. James 1 second behind Josh Mills, trying to close that gap, but he has Middleton breathing down his neck. Corey Robbins, 2/10 behind Derek McCord, looking to see if he can do anything through the boot. McLaren can eat those curbs, and he tries to use as much of it as possible. Not the best through the boot. I don't know, with the pace today, I think even TJ would struggle a little. Ooh, Derek going wide. Opens the perfect opportunity for Corey. Too wide. Let's see what this looks like. Not too wide. Corey's got the move done in that 43 car with the double number plate. Meanwhile, behind you see Derek and Jake Hardy with a little bit of a love tap to the wall, leaving him at risk from Ethan Lawrence behind. I don't need to breathe. It's okay. Ethan Lawrence looking to see what he can do onto the pit straight again with that exit speed of the McLaren. Can he do anything in that slipstream? Let's ride on board with Ethan Lawrence as he follows down into T1. Into the braking zone. Can he set up that exit, use the slipstream to his advantage? Almost a little bit of contact from behind from Don Debian. Oh, God. Ethan Lawrence looking to see what he can do. He has the slipstream. Looks like everything's done but the move. Going up on the outside. Has to let off to give Jake room, and it ruins his exit. Jake's going to be able to hold the position going into this as long as he defends the inside, leaving it open, but Ethan's not close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, we go from, oh, Jake a little bit wide in the bus stop, not even playing peekaboo, just missing both apexes, allows Ethan to go by. A little bit of a struggle. That is unfortunate for Jake. Can he maintain the position from Don behind? Let's watch on board as we watch these two fantastic drivers fight it through the entrance to the boot. Jake on the outside. Can he keep the position? Now he has the inside going into the boot. Come on, Jake. Oh, and Ethan goes wide, opening up the potential for Don to come into his clutches. But Jake goes wide on the exit. Too wide again. Are these drivers ever going to settle this one out? I do not think so. With the inside line, Ethan looks like he might have the position, but the switch back from Jake, the potential's there. Ethan goes onto the rubber. Jake looks like he has the exit. He has everything he needs. Just turn in. There you go. You have the position. And Ethan's behind. But Ethan, he's a smart driver. He knows he has the potential on the straight again. However, that's plenty of these two drivers here. Let's go ahead and go on to a next set of drivers. Keyshawn Hall and Jake Falcher from GRG battling it out. Up the inside, we see Solomon Saddle, Mike Trewicki. But Keyshawn looking to see what he can do in what I believe is the KTM. Let's go ahead and give us some manufacturer information here. I got a private DM from Tristan Blizzard in pits. He is actually molding. I'm curious to see what happened between him. Look at the Overlay Pro. Overlay Pro. I will mess with that after the race. There's way too much going on. Oh, a little bit of, as he goes wide. Like I said, I can't take a break right now. As Keyshawn looks to see what he can do up the inside of Jake Falcher, going through the carousel. Too wide, going into the entrance to the boot. Jake is the double move there. Jake parking it on the apex, trying to block any potential Keyshawn has. Keyshawn around, gets the inside, going into the boot. Too wide they go. Can he keep it? No. Jake's ahead. But he goes a little wide on the exit, leaving Keyshawn the opportunity to slip up the inside as long as he can keep it together. They're going too wide. Let's go and ride on board right now with Keyshawn. He's behind Jake. Nothing to be made right now. Meanwhile, Colyn and Carez battling it out. There is stuff going on everywhere you look throughout this grid. Wow. Colyn and Carez, not even sure which car is which at this point. Colyn's in the BMW. He is on the outside going into the final quarter. Can he avoid hitting the wall? He can, but he can't avoid losing that position, giving it up to Giving it up to Juan, giving it up to Smalls, it looks like. As Smalls is on the inside going into the final corner. Everybody slipstreaming, everybody looking to see what they can make of this. Kurt Moss looking to see if he can get something done. Going into that first corner, no contact. They all get away fine. Colyn's able to get the exit, but is that enough? Yes, I'm going to go with yes, it is enough. He's able to maintain the position. Bob Robson behind, under threat from Mike Faisal. I am not allowed to breathe, apparently. Going down the back straight. We have everybody looking to see what they can get done. Bob Robson looking to send it up the inside of Kurt Moss. Nothing happening through the bus stop. Kurt's able to maintain. Bob looking for anything he can get done. Meanwhile, it's been a while since we've looked into the leaders. Let's just go ahead and give Peter O'Brien some TV time. Okay, that's enough. There's stuff going on everywhere in the grid. Let's go ahead and switch somewhere else. Jake Fulcher still battling with Keyshawn, with Tom Shirley right behind. Meanwhile, Mike Middleton must have made a little bit of a mistake in the bus stop, as the door is now open for Jake on this exit. Can he go ahead and pick up a nice P21? No, that door is now closed from Mike.
We are halfway through.
A little bit of a battle. Looks like it's going on at the back. You have John Crane on Michael Harrison right now. John in the Chevrolet Camaro. Michael in the Chevrolet Camaro. My favorite car. I told these guys, I said, anyone in the Camaro will get the most time on broadcast. Dave is going to pass out if he continues at this pace. I am going to die if I continue at this pace. I should not have gone to the gym first. That is my lesson for the day. Just going ahead and looking at everybody in pit. We have Jake Hardy, Nico. You know what? Let's not focus on that. Let's go back to the battles. Battles are fun. Juan Cara is still looking to see what he can do, but now on Gavin Morris, Pezzelato was able to make it back up into P6. With 3.3 seconds to get back to his P5 where he started on to Carson Schultz. But Juan is looking to see if he can get up into P6, go and try to challenge Pezzelato again.
Pit window is now closed.
Going through the SEs, what can he do? What can he do? Is anything available? He has the slipstream. He is in the Porsche, the most overpowered car there is in the GT4 class. Into the chicane, nothing's available. Meanwhile, Bob Robson and Mike Faisal in the background. You're seeing it's looking rather spicy between those two. Let's go ahead and swap to them. Maybe I should have left auto cam on. It's a little bit easier for me. But we would be missing out on all these great battles. Up the inside maybe is Faisal. No, he backs out, thinks better of it as Robson through the entrance to the boot. Faisal carrying a little bit more speed than Robson. Looking to see if maybe he can send it up the inside through the boot. Nothing's available. It's going to be hard for Faisal to make this overtake, to make an overtake stick here. Watkins is not exactly known for all the overtaking opportunities. Wow, okay. Woo, let's breathe. Now to the next fight. Who do we go ahead and go to? Solomon Saad right now, 2/10 behind, looking to make a move. Nothing's available, and Mike Trewicki through T1, I believe. I don't know. I wasn't looking at the brow. That was definitely not T1. Through the final three corners, you have Solomon Saad on the outside, looking to see what he can make. Can he make something happen? Can he make something stick here? Looking for the inside, fakes it. No, right back behind Mike Trewicki. Going through the penultimate corner, getting to the final corner. How many times am I going to talk about the penultimate corner of this race? Final corner, down the pit straight. Saad doesn't look like he got the best exit. I stand corrected. Shooting up right behind Mike Trewicki. 1/10 behind. Looking to fake it up the inside again. Just trying to scare Trewicki. Waiting to see what he can get done. Looking to see if he makes any obvious mistakes, but nothing happens as he goes wide. Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the first two, as this gap has, I believe, shrunk to 1.3 seconds. Not that anything's happening. I'm just going to go ahead and take a breather as we are watching. Oh my God, Colin Marshall 1/10 behind. I'm not doing y'all justice if I'm not watching this. Through the exit of the boot, into the carousel. Can he send it up the inside of Dean Solomon? No, he can't. Okay, now we're going back to where I can breathe on Jordan Nixon. Nice. Peaceful engines. Just quiet. No battling up with the top 3. You have Peter O'Brien in a pretty nice lead, but any small mistake, he will give it up. Jordan Nixon in P2 with the 4-second gap to Eric Diaz behind, knowing he's pretty solidified in that P2, but he wants to beat Peter. Anything he can do to make it happen. Meanwhile, we had a come on Dean in chat as Colin Marshall still managing to pressure him going into the final 3 corners. What can Colin do? Maybe send it up the inside. Looks like he might have the better exit here. No, Dean has it, but Colin's not going to give up. He wants to look for any possible mistake he can, but James is sitting right behind him. Too wide through the final corner. Messes with Dean's exit. Colin might be able to get him going down the pit straight right here, up the inside. Wowza. Holy Toledo, I'm stealing it from Sauger. Too wide going down into T1. And it's able to stick from Colin, unfortunately for Derek, but James has not made the move happen yet, but he's looking like he will, as we're going to ride on board with James uphill through the SEC, what he can make happen. In that slipstream, he sees the Audi, as I'm trying to make out what logo that is, of Dean Solomon in front, looking to send it up the inside through the boot, but thinks better of it, backs out. James is a has a very high race IQ. He knows exactly what to do to make a driver make a mistake, and he knows how to make sure he's avoiding putting himself in those positions. Looking to see what he can do, just play around with his food right now as he sees Dean Solomon in front for P15 on the outside of the entrance to the boot, seeing if maybe he can do an over-under, see what he can get done. He gets on the throttle, realizes the opportunity is not there, and it's not going to be this lap where he can have it happen. And a 4-person battle for P7 right now, with Gavin Moore, Juan Carr, Stephen Smalley, Kurt Moss, all going down the straight. Kurt Moss on the outside of Bob Robson decides to give it up to him. I stand corrected. Kurt Moss on the outside of Stephen Smalley, giving it up to him. Through these final few corners, Gavin Moore is the truly trained tonight. I will pretend like I understand your reference, but I do not. Meanwhile, nope, this is the best fight, and I'm going to go ahead and relax a little as they're giving me a chance to. Just watch a little bit. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Juan. He's just staring at Gavin, just looking at that rear. Maybe he has potential here. In that slipstream, going through the uphill Essies. All he needs to do... Oh, he goes a little wide due to the dirty air. I don't think he's going to be able to make it this lap. But maybe he'll have a better chance later. Meanwhile, Sald and Leader are both 4/10 behind their opponents. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Solomon Saad, going through the uphill Essies down the straight, seeing if he can make something happen to Mike Truicki. And it changed my mind. Instead, we have Keyshawn Hall and Mike Middleton battling it out, going down the pit straight in that Expo. Keyshawn just losing the position to Middleton, looking to see if he can go ahead and make a return move, but nothing to be made going into the bus stop. Keyshawn's under threat by Tom Shirley. Tom Shirley sends it. A little bit of contact everywhere. Nothing working out right now. As Keyshawn gets the position back, Mike Middleton, I'm sure, is not happy right now. Everybody moving up a position. Corey Robbins up into P23. Ethan Lawrence up into P24. Don Debian up into P25 as Tom Shirley falls down to P26. Let's see if his car looks okay. Little bit of damage on the front, but I think overall he's probably fine. Let's get on board and let's see how his steering looks. See, going in a straight line, wheels straight. Yeah, he's fine to continue. Meanwhile, there is another battle. Way too hot in the bus stop. That is I forgot to hit my brakes hot in the bus stop. Battle for P7 with Juan Carres and Gavin Moore is getting spicy. But meanwhile, the battle for P9 is even a little spicier with both Mike Faisal, Kurt Moss looking to see what they can do to Stephen Smalley. He managed to move his way up. Let's go ahead and look at positions gained as we're getting later into this race, just so we can go ahead and get an idea how it looks for everybody. That is not an option I have. I stand corrected. So instead, I'll just put you on nations as I go check it myself. So we have first 4 staying in position. Carson Schultz up in the P5, able to maintain his position. But the driver of the race so far is Ethan Lawrence up into P24, up 13 positions. Joseph Chow down 18 as he's doing all the admin work he can. The biggest loser of the race that is still in the race is currently Colin Marshall at P14, who is currently battling, I don't know because it just moved on my screen, is currently battling Ilpo, so something must have happened with him through probably the bus stop, unfortunately. Meanwhile, we're seeing a move right now as Adrian Pezzelato trying to make something happen on Carson Schultz. I clicked the wrong driver. Adrian Pezzelato trying to make something happen on Carson Schultz. McLaren's tires go down fast. 5 minutes left of this race. As long as Pezzelato is able to maintain some kind of tire life, he should be able to make something happen in those 5 minutes. But again, the Maserati is not known for its top end. As he goes up the inside of the final corner, is Carson going to leave him the room? He leaves him just a car's width. I'm sure Adrian is yelling some obscenities, going down the pit straight, thinking, I could have gotten you there. But nothing really happening for him going down the final straight. Carson's tires a little weak. Maybe he's going to go wide on the exit of T1. Looks like he doesn't get the best exit. Meanwhile, Pezzelato, great exit, going up the uphill Essies. Through the next corner. Wow, he's flying right now with all that exit speed. Can he make something happen into the bus stop? Come on, Pezzelato. Nothing. Oh, but what a bus stop from Pezzelato. Looking like maybe he can put it up the inside for the carousel. Not really in a great position for that. Just barely out of it. Meanwhile, in the back, we see quite a fight going on with Kurt Moss maybe making it too wide. No, Mike Faisal looking to see what he can make done on Kurt Moss. Nothing really available. Kurt Moss almost into the rear of Juan Carres. Oh, God, I will not be able to speak tomorrow. Going through the bus, or going through the boot. Whew. Kurt Moss, Mike Faisal makes it stick. It looks like P9 for Mike Faisal. Kurt Moss still in the top 10. Now can Mike Faisal continue to make his way through the field? Is that a possibility? We will see, but Mike Middleton only 2/10 behind Stephen Smalley. As Derek mentioned, Stephen Smalley lost it in the boot heel. Mike Middleton seeing what he can do. I imagine Smalley might have some damage, but Smalley's held up right now by Keyshawn Hall on P19. Everybody looking to see what they can do. What a tight group between all of these drivers. You have Keyshawn, Steven, Mike Middleton, Corey Robbins, Ethan Lawrence, all looking to see what they can do to make a move onto Keyshawn. Ooh, looks like there was a switch right there between Ethan Lawrence and Corey Robbins. Corey is not happy, looking to see if he can make something happen up the inside, but nothing's available. Let's go ahead and ride on board right now with Middleton as he's following Smalls through the penultimate corner, getting ready for the final corner. I'm going to take a breather. Excuse me. Okay, I feel much better. Back to it I go. Now I go. Okay, now I go. As we have... Oh, up the inside! I don't really know if there was any room or any reason to make that from Mike Middleton, leaving himself at risk right now with Ethan Lawrence behind. We're going to ride on board with Ethan as he looks to see what he can do coming through these uphill Essies. He has the exit speed, I believe, but nope, that McLaren's just too fast in a straight line for anything to happen. Meanwhile, looking through the grid, we have Adrian, oh, through the bus stop again, looking to see what he can get done. Nothing happened, but we're going to go ahead and right on board with Adrian Pezzelato, looking to see what he can do to Carson. Those tires have to be worn. I understand, Derek, but you got to realize there's 32 minutes left, because I got another race of this. Round the outside, can he make it stick? No, he can't. Maybe the over-under or through the exit. His tires grip up. You can hear it. He's looking to see what he can do. Send it up the inside. No, fakes it. Hoping Carson's going to run wide. You can see that McLaren is struggling for grip, trying to do whatever it can to maintain it. Going through that final corner, Adrian Pezzelato looks like he got that launch, exactly what he needs, but Carson did it better with those worn-out tires. Is this going to be the last opportunity that Pezzelato has going down this final straight? Let's go ahead and check it out. This should be the last lap of the race as Peter O'Brien is on his final lap. 25 seconds left. I cannot breathe between races. There is more to talk about. I gotta do interviews. I gotta talk to people. It is never ending. However, that's a good thing. That means that everything's going really well with Plebian, and that means that our drivers are enjoying what they're doing, and they're all having really good battles, and that's what I want to see. So looks like Pezzelato might lose his opportunity here. Oh, going into the carousel. Carson leaves him the space. Carson decides to close it as Pezzelato decides to dive. Looks like Adrian gets it, riding on board with Carson. He looks to see, is there any move he can do, as he just gave up P5 to Pezzelato, going through the entrance to the boot. We're seeing him, and no, he just falls off Juan back here, but let's watch Peter on this final lap. I understand there's a lot of battling going on, but I want to make sure that he gets his time to shine as he crosses the line in first. If he crosses the line in first, maybe he might be caught slipping here and make a small enough of a mistake like that allows Jordan Nixon to close the gap. No, he doesn't. Through the final corner, let's go ahead and watch Peter O'Brien coming across the line with Jordan Nixon right on his heels. Peter O'Brien wins. Jordan Nixon in P2. Eric Diaz coming across P3. Jeffrey Bray coming to the line. P4. And he crosses it. Adrian Pezzelato and Carson Schultz, after that hard-fought battle between the two of them in P5 and P6. What a race by both drivers. I'm sure Carson is beating himself up, so we will interview him. And wow, I don't even know. Driver. Positions. Way too much to go on. Let's go ahead and hop on with Dean Solomon and Adrian and James Leader as they both cross the line in P14 and 15. Solomon Saad and Mike Trewicki cross the line. Nothing available. Trewicki in 16. Solomon in 17. Now we're with Jake Foucher, seeing what he can do in P18, just crossing the line. His race is over, but Keyshawn's is not as he crosses. Now it is. Stephen Smalls behind him, Ethan Lawrence. Then you have Don Debian and Derek McCord, who just made a position up on Tom Shirley, or Mike Middleton, I believe, as Mike Middleton probably went off the track. Derek going down the line, and P23, P24 right behind him is Tom Shirley. Josh Mills in P25. I am trying to do my best to keep you with everyone crossing the line. You got Mike Harrison and Rookie Fagan battling it across the line. In P26, P27, you got Ernesto Lopez, who just crossed the line in P28. And every other driver is in pits. You got Corey Robin and John Crane in pits. I don't know what happened to those two. So meanwhile, let's see who would be the least happy driver. Carson Schultz. Let's get him in the booth. Hey Carson, I have you in the commentators booth. Are you here? You are muted if you are here.
Yeah, I'm here.
There we go. Welcome, Carson. P6. That was a hard-fought battle you had with Pezzelato.
Yeah, he got me at the end. My car does not turn in the carousel. My tires were dead. And I went in a little hot because, he was there. He had the After the straightaway, I was kind of a sitting duck, so he did a good job.
With those tires being gone, are you definitely looking to do tire changes in the longer race, or do you not want to reveal your strats?
Longer race?
Longer races, sorry.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The McLaren doesn't really have that good tire wear. Except my tires are on fire that entire time. I was just trying to keep him behind. And also, I was fuel saving because I almost ran out of fuel. I had like 0.3 when I crossed the line. So that was fun.
Oh, look at all those penalties as everybody's getting their penalties for not serving their mandatory pits. Well, it was a really good fight between you and Pezzelato, and well, I was rooting for Pezzelato, so fortunately, but unfortunately for you, you ended up on the losing end of that in P6, but still, looking at the competition around you, you have to be happy with P6, right?
I would have been happy for P5. It hit the wall. It gave me 7 seconds of damage, so that sucked. But, I mean, yeah, P6 is, for me, barely practicing and changing my car at the last second. Pretty happy with it. Good finish.
I'm sure you would have also been happy with P1 though. So I think any position above where you finish, you would be happy. You would be happy with.
Yeah.
All right,
For
so
sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw you back down as I bring up Peter O'Brien. Thank you for your time, Carson. Good. Do you want the commentator's curse, or do you want no commentator's curse?
Give me the commentator's curse. I need it.
Good luck in your next race. You got this.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring Peter O'Brien, our race winner, into the chat. Peter, you're in the commentator's booth. Welcome.
Whoa, that's crazy. Hello.
Remember, this is a family-friendly stream, and no mistakes.
All
please.
right, I won't F-bomb this time like I did for Sagar.
Thank you. Congratulations on your race win.
Why, thank you.
Were you expecting it, or were you did you think Jordan was going to be able to get you?
I knew that Jordan was going to be on a better pace towards the end of the race, at least with the way his car's set up. I know that he is set up on a more high downforce setup, and I was on a much more low wing setup for straight line speed. So I was really hoping for the 2 or 3 tenths I gained in the straight every lap to really come through and help me build the gap to continue. So when I had good tires at the beginning, I was really pushing hard to build a gap because I knew it was going to dwindle towards the end of the race. But ultimately, I felt like, considering the way his car was set up and what we had spoken about before, I felt like I pretty much had it in the bag as long as I didn't screw up the first 3 to 5 laps.
Right. So it ended up exactly how you expected. Your strategy ended up working out for you. I saw you made a little bit of a mistake going into those final few corners, and Nixon started to close that gap. Were you feeling any pressure, or were you knew you had about a second, so you just felt like, all right, it's your race?
The final lap was kind of chaotic. I seen him completely miss the braking point into the downhill right-hander into the third to last corner. I'm sorry, I don't know corner numbers here, but we were coming up on that back marker into the right-hander, and I seen him completely blow by. I knew that if he had stayed on my bumper at that point, we probably would have been pretty much neck and neck the whole last lap. But once he missed that brake point, I knew I had a bit of a gap. I didn't intend to do a massive drift to the final corner, but the car really just wanted me to show off that baguette power, so we did a nice big drift.
Well, congratulations. Hope the strategy works out for you again in this next race, but not too well. I want to see some battling between you and Jordan. A little bit of too wide action.
All right. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
No problem. Good luck in your next race, Peter. I'm going to throw you back in there.
20 seconds.
All right.
You didn't get to finish. Let's see. Who else do we want to grab? Let's grab Joseph Chow. Joe, got you in the commentator's booth.
Oh, joy.
Your last race was non-existent as you were, I'm assuming, addressing admin issues with mandatory pits?
Well, yeah, I forgot to hit drive, and then I started from the pit, and then I got taken out trying to get through everyone. So, it happens.
Oh, that stinks.
But, there's race 2. Yeah. I'm not sure what happened in SGP, but Sorry to everyone.
It happens. Luckily, this is our first season, so I think most people here have either raced with us today, or they know someone who has, or raced with us before, and they know someone who has. So I don't think anybody's too stressed about it. Going into this, go ahead.
Oh, if that's the worst mistake I do, I'll take it.
I did the first half of qualifying, and I was interviewing people without a mic. So, don't worry, you were not the only one. I managed to impress myself every day. So, where are you starting this race? My leaderboard is now updating properly. Are you in P17?
I believe so.
Oh, wait, P17. There we go. What do you feel like your chances are for top 10?
I feel like I have the pace. For some reason, I'm slower than in the practice server. I don't know why. Maybe just the stress.
It's got to be that stress. I know. No, you're just on the cusp of those 55, so I know you weren't. You were definitely able to put yourself near that top 10. Unfortunately, did not work out through qualifying, and unfortunately, your race 1 was non-existent due to admin issues and pit start. So hopefully next race you'll be able to, or this race you'll be able to kind of rope something together. I'm gonna go ahead and throw you back down into the race chat as I get ready to handle this whole thing by myself again, and hope my voice doesn't give out.
Appreciate you, dude.
No problem. I'll see you, Joe. Good luck in your race.
Thank you.
Wait. You didn't go there. Wait, you didn't go there again. There we go. We got him. All right. I wasn't bamboozled anymore. Woo. Alrighty. Night race here. I didn't get a chance to pee because I had loaded my schedule. That's on me. So, 30 minutes while I'm doing the pee dance in the chair. Nixon weaving back and forth, see if he can get some heat in these tires. Look if he can do anything on Peter O'Brien, prevent that early abuse of his tires like last time. If he can manage to keep it within a second, I think Peter's going to be feeling the pressure, but that's much easier said than done, obviously. Don't copyright strike me. It's my own version. Final few corners. All I want to hear is green, green, green. Come on. Oh, I have nation set. Let's do manufacturer. Come on.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Green, green, green. All you can see is the headlights of these cars as they go down the straight. This time Nixon on the outside instead of slotting in, seeing if he can maybe make a switchback happen in T1, but Peter knows better. Parks it on the apex. Diaz and Jeffrey Bray going at it right now. Jeff on the outside of Diaz, looking to see what he can make happen for P2. But for P3, seeing what they can get done for podium position. Oh, a little bit of contact from both Diaz and Bray, which leaves the door wide open right now for leaderboard. I did not need you to break at this point in time. I believe 48 is Carson Schultz as he slots into the top 4. It is Carson Schultz. What a taking advantage of every opportunity put in front of him before his tires fall off and he falls back down the order. Going through the carousel, he's able to keep it that time. Nixon looking to see what he can do. As my leaderboard finally fixes itself, we're going to go with Nixon as he goes a little bit wide, leaving the door wide open to Diaz going into the boot. Although nothing looks like it's going to happen, I'm going to talk in a little bit of a softer voice, so I'm less hoarse tomorrow. Around the outside of the boot, Meanwhile, Pezzelato in P6 looking to see if he can get back to P5, losing a position on the start again, not working out for him. The outside of the corner, they're going too wide. We switch to the TV camera, and Jeffrey Bray holds the line tight. Pezzelato squeezes them as much as possible. I'd say a little bit too much. Go to the next corner, he has the inside, and he makes the move. Yes, he does, with Gavin Moore on the inside of Bray, not leaving an opportunity for him to look to do anything. Gavin Moore inside of the next corner, but he looks like he cuts the apex a little too soon, leaving the door wide open for Bray to slot in, but he does not. He decides to stay behind Gavin Moore. Meanwhile, Carez, Leader are all battling it out. Looks like Kurt Moss has fallen 2 positions here. Let's go ahead and get on an onboard. Going too wide through this corner. You have Juan and Leader. These two know each other very well from Pro Sim Racing. Going down into the straight. The Camaro gives Juan a little bump to let him know, hey, I'm here. But James decides to back out of it, seeing nothing to be done. Meanwhile, Nixon through the bus stop, following Peter, just waving, hoping he slows down a little. Carson Schultz looking to make a move on Diaz. Podium position, I know, would leave him ecstatic. Carson telling me, these cars are boring. Why aren't we doing GT3? I'm sure is changing his tune right now, as looks like both of his races have been amazing, but he's lost it all to Diaz as Pezzelato closes it in behind him. Carson's probably thinking, oh no, not again. He doesn't want a repeat of race 1, but luckily for him, it will not be. This time he will be losing P4. Meanwhile, Kurt Moss, who lost out to both Juan and James, and it looks like a single corner, looking to see if he can close in the gap on James right now, with Solomon directly behind Kurt, not leaving him any breathing room at all. Breathe. James just chilling behind Juan. Kurt just looking to see what he can do to James. Nothing really opening up, but Dean Solomon looking to see if he can make any opportunity. And when I say that, I mean any opportunity happen. Around the final corner does Kurt go. Just closing in on Jay. Oh, a little bit of contact behind from, I believe, Mike Middleton, leaving himself in the eyes of Michael Faisal, who said, oh wait, was that Michael Faisal who had the contact? That was not. It was Mike. No, it was Josh Mills. Who was leaving himself open to, oh wait, Kurt Moss and James Leader already swapped positions. I missed that. Kurt up into the top 10, James down into P11. Kurt seeing if he can kind of close it in now on Juan in front. Jeffrey Bray and Colin Marshall battling right now. Jeffrey Bray, who was up near the podium positions, down into P8. What happened? But what a move from Colin through the bus stop. Great driving there. Bray just sitting at his heels, looking to see if he can make anything happen through the entrance to the boot. It is very dark out there. Luckily, these drivers have headlights. We miss you in the race, Penguin. Unfortunate that you could not be here tonight. Meanwhile, Kurt Moss, 1/10 behind Juan Carez, looking to see what he can do through the boot. You see James in the rearview mirror, looking to see what he can do through the exit of the boot. And up the inside he goes. No, he backs out, thinking better of it, but that leaves Dean Solomon to get the better exit through the corner, looking to see if he can make any little sneaky move up the inside. Not quite close enough. Let's see what else we have going on throughout the grid, as we're going to go back to Adrian Pezzelato, looking to make a move on Carson Schultz. Through the final corner, Carson looks like he got the worst exit out of that, through the pit straight. Carson in the McLaren might be able to make a move happen again if he can. Ooh, Pezzelato up the inside. Not close enough. Carson, knowing he doesn't have to leave the room, kind of fakes a little defense, but not really enough to get the steward's attention, as he's able to maintain the position. Meanwhile, let's give some back markers some love as we have John Crane looking to see if he can make a move on Corey Robbins. Not back markers, I apologize. We do have some drivers seeing what they can make happen, as you have Crane looking like he made that move on Robbins. Going through T1. Robbins with the better exit, though, gets that right back as he slots in back into P29. This battle for last is not going anybody's way. Meanwhile, we have Joseph Chow sitting in pits. Must have had something happen again. Mills is currently fighting with Mike Middleton as he is the inside and of the entrance to the boot. Looks to slot in front, and Faisal takes advantage of that, looking to see what he can do to take position from Mike Middleton. This is a bad commentator controlling the camera, but Faisal looks like he's able to maintain it. Better exit out of the boot, I believe, as we watch with Mike Middleton in the onboard, seeing if he can maybe dive up the inside. Almost to the rear axle, but not quite. Faisal blocks it, parking it on the apex. If Middleton kind of playing that a little bit better, he'd be able to launch through the exit, but he got nothing out of it. Meanwhile, Jake Falcher looking to see what he can do to Keyshawn Hall. These two both GRG drivers trying to see if they can make anything happen. Good neighbor, you are new to ACC, you are not used to it. So unlike AC, how it works is there are only certain gears that the pit limiter works in, and once you leave that and you go to a specific gear, the pit limiter will not work like it does in real cars. Some cars go out of it in second, some cars go out of it in third. But if you gear up early before exiting the pits, it will be easy to violate that pit limiter, unfortunately. I know it's weird, but last week you had the blue flags, and this week it's the pit limiter. I know it can be a little rough learning a new game, but fortunately you're getting these growing pains out now as Peter O'Brien falling down the order. He is now in P5, losing out to Gavin Moore. Jordan Nixon leading this race. What just happened? Oh, Carson Schultz throws away his chance at a podium, falling back into P5 with Peter O'Brien on the inside. No chance. Or Carson Schultz on the inside. Peter sends it around the outside. Maybe a little bit of damage to his car. That does not look characteristic of Peter. Maybe he's just angry that he threw his race away. Going down the straight on the outside of Carson. The McLaren faster down in a straight line. He's going to have the inside. You have Pezzelato slotting right in behind Carson. Peter cutting off the apex, causing him to slow down, leaving Pezzelato into Colyn's grasp. Oh, if you got the warning coming in, then you sped into the pit lane. You exceeded the pit limits going where the pit lane starts. AC automatically throws you down to the pit lane speed. ACC will actually give you a drive-through for violating the speed. Oh, as we see, Peter goes very wide in fourth. I'm sure he's just miffed right now at what happened. Meanwhile, Pezzelato looking to make a move on the outside of Schultz. Going into T1, can he make it stick? Jeffrey Bray looking to make a move on the inside of Colyn, but thinks better of it. Pezzelato pushes Carson wide, but Carson's able to rejoin the racetrack. Colyn able to make up a position out of that, moving up into P6. Colyn looking to see what he can do, maybe see if he can move up into P5 from Carson, but no, as Pezzelato slots back into P6. Colyn right behind, look to see if he can make something happen in the boot, but no, because Jeffrey Bray is going to establish himself along the inside. Nothing to be done. What a battle between these drivers. Peter O'Brien looks like he's pretty solidified in P4, but that is not the story that is going on here, as there are 4 other drivers battling it out. 5 other drivers battling it out. You have P7 through P10, 4 drivers all battling for position right now, right next to each other. It just DQ'd you? I would have to see what happened. Yeah, I would have to see what happened. I know you're streaming. You're probably watching the stream right now on your stream. If you can go ahead and send me a clip, or send a clip to the head steward, as he knows the game better than I do. He could probably tell you what happened. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that one. Yeah, either send it to me or the head steward or both. You can even put it in the championship chat and ask what happened. Someone might know. I do know there's been an issue with bugs lately in this game. Specifically when it comes to penalties. So it really just all depends how that happened, though. Pezzelato slotting in behind Schultz, looking to make a move up the inside of T1. Then he sees nothing there and thinks better of it. Through T1 he goes, but he gets the exit onto Schultz. But again, Schultz has that top end. Oh, that must be Dejas. Down the straight, you're not seeing anything from Pezzelato, but meanwhile you are seeing something from Jeffrey Bray as he looks to make a move on Colyn. Doesn't stick, but Kurt Moss through the bus stop, looking like he might have the speed to make something happen up the inside of the carousel. Onto Juan Carres, nothing available. Pezzelato has a move happen from Colyn, sending it on the inside. No, nothing. Meanwhile, Colyn putting himself at risk again by Jeffrey Bray. Somehow, Colyn's able to pass Pezzelato, putting Jeffrey Bray right behind. What a dream situation. Jeffrey Bray looking to make a move through the boot, but nothing there. As Colyn just slides into P6, I'm sure he's very happy with that. Meanwhile, you have Carres and Bray currently swapping positions as Kurt Moss looks like he passed up Bray. No, as Kurt Moss did look like he passed up Bray, but it was not able to stick. Meanwhile, we have Dean Solomon at the back of this little line right here. Let's see what we can watch from his onboard. Looks like he's struggling a little bit in this car with the throttle. You hear him on and off, on and off, on and off. Maybe that's just his driving style, though. You see a little bit of contact from right in front from James Leader, leaving the door wide open for Dean Solomon as they go too wide down the pit straight. On the outside is Dean. Is he going to look for a nasty switchback? No, he just turns in on James. A little bit of contact, but luckily James did not get too messed up from it. But Mike Feazell, seeing the opportunity, jumps right in, passing Dean down the straight. Dean's on the rubber. That's going to ruin his opportunity. No traction through these uphill Essies. Mike Feazell gets away with P12. Meanwhile, back to the fight going on between Kurt Moss, Jeffrey Bray, and Juan Carres. Through the carousel, here they go. Pezzelato looking to see if he can make a move into the boot, but thinks better of it. Colyn goes wide. Didn't see any contact between these two. Pezzelato up into P6. Colyn should be falling down the order. Oh no. Falling all the way down to, looks like P10. Able to slot himself back in. All that hard-earned work for nothing. Would love to hear what happened there.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
I don't know. I tried to replay this. Let's see if this replay works. No, this replay does not work. Okay, we are just on with Colyn right now. As he is looking under threat from James Leader, who is on the outside going into these final few corners. Mike Feazell, who's already seen an opportunistic overtake earlier, now on the inside, 3 wide into the penultimate corner. A little bit of contact between Feazell as Colyn's able to hold on to one position, but loses out to another. Feazell looking for anything he can do. He wants to stay with James Leader. You know he has the pace, but nothing happens. Colyn eats a little bit of grass, leaving the opportunity prime for Feazell. You see Feazell up the inside of the pit straight. Let's ride on board right now with Mike Feazell. Oh, Colyn just hits the brakes and goes ahead and gives it up. He knows he lost it, but maybe he can go for the switchback. Is the opportunity there? No, Mike Feazell knows what he's doing as a talented driver.
Pit window is now closed.
Meanwhile, Jeffrey Bray, as the pit window is now closed. We are over halfway through the race. My bad, guys. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Bray looking what he can do onto Juan Carez, still down the straight, down, looking into the bus stop, faking a move to the inside, sliding back in. Nothing. However, Mike Middleton only 2/10 behind going through the bus stop on Dean Solomon. Can they make something happen? I don't think they can. John Crane in the Camaro. Camaro Love looking to see what he can do to Derek McCord, the GRG director. He sent us a lot of drivers this season, and we really appreciate it. As we were able to get to a grid of, I believe, 46 people signed up, and we've had 35 or 36 for this race, maybe even more. And then we had 39 last race, and a lot of those drivers were from GRG, and we thank them for helping us out. Just because Nixon's leading, I want to give him a little bit of screen time. Okay. All right, Jeffrey Bray. Looking to see what he can make happen right now. Looking to see what moves are available. It says everyone just fell down the order. I believe my tower does not like me right now, as Nico is in P3, but that's not right. Peter O'Brien back up into the podium positions in P3. See, what kind of data do we want now? We're gonna give you car numbers. Everybody loves car numbers. Mike Faisal only 1/10 behind. I clicked the wrong view. 1/10 behind James Leader, able to end up getting around Colyn. I apologize, that happened off screen. Carousel through the entrance to the boot, around the outside, in the Blue Gang Camaro. Leader doing all he can to keep it in front of him. Through the boot, nothing's available. Meanwhile, Kurt Moss seeing what he can do on Jeffrey Bray and Juan Carez as that battle is still ongoing. Carson Schultz falling down into P6, losing out to, again, Adrian Pezzelato for P5. Unfortunate. That's all I have to say there. I'm sure Carson's going to remember that. Meanwhile, Mike Faisal still battling out with James Leader, looking for any opportunity he can get. See what we have going on. James didn't get the exit that Mike got. Mike gets to carry more speed, but somehow James looks like he's staying ahead. We're seeing Kurt Moss and Jeffrey Bray swapping through T1. Kurt Moss around the outside, goes a little wide. Jeff's able to maintain the position. Back to James Leader and Mike Faisal, though. Going through the uphill S's. Can anything happen? Let's watch on board with Mike Faisal. Looking, descended! Nope. Not this lap. Meanwhile, Bob Robson falling down the order as he goes into pits. I'm assuming for damage. Everybody passing him up right here. John Crane still fighting right now, but he's moved up the order. Now fighting with Derek McCord. Earlier, I believe he was in P30, fighting with Corey Robbins, who does not look like he is in the server anymore, so I'm imagining his race did not end how he wanted it to. Let's see, let's just watch these two battle it out for a second. Ooh, into the bus stop. You see John looking to see what he can do, but just nothing available. Derek just parking his car exactly where he needs it. Rookie Fagan right now battling with Tom Shirley. Fagan has been working really hard to find pace, and he had the most overtakes in the last race at Brands Hatch. He's really showing that he's starting to get understanding of wheel to wheel, and he's starting to become a little less anxious. Put a little more elbows out racing, not just give up a position when the opportunity happens. But Bob Robson right behind him is rather fast, and I'm sure Robson, who probably pit for damage, is going to be looking to get around Fagan, feeling like Fagan's probably holding him up. Meanwhile, Fagan just doing everything he can to put his car in the right spot. But is that going to be enough? When you're fighting a driver who's about, when you're fighting a driver who is about 2 seconds faster than you, it is very hard to maintain that position. So just knowing where to put your car, knowing where to place it is very important. And it looks like this time Fagan wasn't able to pull it off, as we see Robson going on the inside of Fagan through T1. How does this end up? Fagan going wide. Oh, he just wasn't able to get it this time. Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Colyn is still battling. I feel like Colyn is probably wishing there was not a race 2, as he is probably more tired than I am, surprisingly. Going through the bus stop, looking to see what he can get done, see what he can make on Mike Fazel, who has fallen off a little from James Leader, probably feeling this pressure from Colyn behind, having to take a few more defensive lines, not leaving those opportunities as open. Meanwhile, Pezzelato on Gavin Moore, going through these final few corners, only 3/10 behind. Looking at their best lap times, Pezzelato was able to get a 55.8 and Moore at a 56 flat. Very similar. Not enough to make an overtake happen here. See, going down the straight, can Pezzelato get anything to happen? Just looking to see what he can get in the slipstream. We've seen drivers from further away decide to back out, and I don't think Pezzelato is going to do anything here, but he's closing in rather fast. That gap is closed. That gap closed rapidly. Looks like Pezzelato might have him through the corners. Meanwhile, John Crane still looking to make moves on Derek McCord. Looks like he might have it going through this final corner up here. Derek parking it and braking early, almost causing a collision. But John just fast on the brakes, going down the pit straight. Derek doing everything he can to maintain the position. John up the inside. They're too wide, too wide, too wide. John sending it through T1. Does he go wide? No, he's able to keep it on the track, but Derek obviously gets a better exit going through the uphill S's. Can he make something happen? Looking to stick it up the inside. John leaves the room, but realizing Derek's not there, instantly closes it off. Going down the back straight. John, does he defend the inside? Does he let Derek on the inside? Derek's obviously faster here. Derek going around the outside. We have not seen it work out for many drivers today. A little bit of bumping between these two drivers. John's able to get it. I don't know what the stewards are going to think of that. Looks like just a little bit of a race incident. Meanwhile, Jake Foucher and Ernesto Lopez just traded positions. Back to other fights. Jeffrey Bray behind Juan Carez. I feel like this battle has lasted all race, as there's only 4 minutes left and they probably want to close whatever kind of gaps they can. Peter O'Brien 9 seconds behind. I don't think he's going to make anything happen on Eric Diaz, probably settling into that podium position. Jordan Nixon with the race win. Congratulations to him, most likely. We didn't see what happened to Peter. I'm assuming that the same can happen to Nixon. Meanwhile, Pezzelato looking to see if he can make it up into P4, see if he can make a move on Gavin Moore, going through the carousel. Gavin just parking it in the worst possible ways in front of Pezzelato, looking to take away any opportunity for any kind of overtake he can possibly get, which is smart as a driver, but oh, is it frustrating when you are the other driver. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Bray only 1/10 behind, fighting with Juan Carez, and he looks like he got that move to stick. However, Kurt Moss is sitting right there looking to see if he can make anything happen going through the boot. No opportunity is presented. After an exciting race last time, Bob Robson and Greg Shiner fighting it out right now. Looks like Bob was able to get around Greg, still trying to make up positions from his pit stop earlier. Like I was saying, Ilpo had a rather exciting Brands race last week. I believe finishing in the top 5. Not 100%. It was definitely top 10, though. He battled just throughout the whole race. I'm sure he's, with Keyshawn only a second behind, he's wondering what's going on. I didn't see how his race 1 went, but I'm assuming from that it probably not too much has happened. Too much went down. Meanwhile, Mike Faisal only 1/10 off of James Leader. Looking to see if he can make something happen in the straight. Let's go ahead and ride on board. Round the outside for T1. James braking on the inside line. Switch back occurring. James does not get the exit speed that Mike Faisal has. But is that going to punish him? Is he going to catch him too soon in the SEs? He realizes the same thing I do as he realizes the same thing I did as he let off the gas and went ahead and let James Leader go ahead and pull away. Not exactly what I would have been looking to do if I was in his shoes. Meanwhile, we have John Crane looking to make a move on rookie Fagan, and Derek McCord looking to make a move on John Crane going through the penultimate corner. Crane parks it on the apex. Looks like Crane was finally able to get around McCord, but that is not the end of this battle, as McCord says, no, come back here. Crane, however, is eyes forward, focused on Fagan. No, he might be focused on McCord as he moves a little bit to the inside just to make sure that is not available to Derek. Going through T1. Just looks like nothing's available. I talk about Ilpo's race being boring, and Keyshawn decides to make it interesting at the bus stop. Can it happen? Going through the carousel, Keyshawn makes it stick into P17. Thank you, Trackalicious. I appreciate the raid. Hello, everybody. Now, this is Plebian Racing's inaugural GT4 season. We only have 1 minute left in the race. Yes. See what's going on. We have Juan Carez still battling with Kurt Moss. Who is that going up into the pits? Jeffrey Bray. Maybe he had a drive-through he needed to serve, as these races are live stewarded. Let's see. Last lap of the race with 30 seconds left. Racing. James Leader, I think, thought the race was over as Mike Faisal around the outside going up the uphill S's. He has the inside going into the next part. Makes the position stick, but Kurt sticking his nose where I personally think it does not belong. Looking to see if he can make a move going into the bus stop. Wowzer. Round the outside is James, but Mike fighting for this position all race is happy to be in P7 right now. Kurt looking to see what he can make happen, to see if he can get himself up into that P8. Nothing available for him yet. Meanwhile, Josh Mills and Salman Saad going into the bus stop. Can Josh make something happen? Right behind, decides to look, goes through the bus stop, doesn't use the Camaro to cut the curbs as much as possible. And it looks like it's not going to happen going through the carousel right now. Meanwhile, further back, we have Derek McCord still fighting with John Crane as they both seem to have gotten around Ricky Fagan. Unfortunate what happened to him. As they're getting ready to go to the uphill S's, as soon as we get to the bus stop, I'm going to go ahead and ride on board with the leader so we can watch him finish this race. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen, so let's go ahead and switch to the leader, Jordan Nixon. Eric Diaz, what happened to him as Jordan Nixon crosses the line? And P1, race win. Peter O'Brien, a surprise P2 after after his slip up earlier in the race, falling all the way down the order to P6. Eric Diaz in P3, with Gavin Moore directly behind and Adrian Pezzelato wrapping up the top 5. We have Carson Schultz getting ready to cross the line in P6. Mike Faisal with what a race, overtaking James Leader for that P7. James Leader P8, Kurt Moss P9, Colin Marshall P10. And now we have Dean Solomon crossing the line with Mike Middleton. What a fight to the line, with Juan Carez finishing behind them. Meanwhile, down racing through the finish, we have Josh Mills, Solomon Saad, 3 wide. And I need to take a breather. Whew. All right, thankfully Keyshawn's a little bit behind with a gap, but he can't sleep as Don is sitting right there. Keyshawn in P17, Don in P18. Keyshawn finishing, keeping that P17. Meanwhile, Bob Robson, who we did not see what happened to him, had to end up serving a pit stop, recovering all the way up to P19. Greg Scheimer, we're going with Scheimer, P20 with Tom Shirley directly behind him, P29. John Crane and Derek McCord fighting to the line. That's right on board with Derek. Can he make anything happen? No! 22nd and 23rd right there. Rookie Fagan crossing in 24th with Jake Foucher behind in 25th. 26th we have Ernesto Lopez getting ready to go through the final corner, sitting it down the pit straight. Thank you. I've been you missed race 1. I don't think I got a breather all race. These drivers have been incredible. As Ilpo with a little bit of front end damage, I'm sure he's not too happy. Trying to cross the line, last one that needs to cross, and P27 and just parks it. I cannot blame him. All right, well, that was the race. Let me go ahead and get some interviews going on. Who should we interview? Wow, there were so many drivers with amazing races. James is not new to being interviewed with Plebian Racing. Let's go ahead and switch it up. Oh, Mike is not in there anymore, as I wanted to interview Mike Faisal. Instead, let's get Colyn. Colyn had an incredible race. Let's get him in here. Colyn, you are in the commentator's booth.
Hey, what's up?
Well, you look like you had a rather good first 2/3 of your race. I saw incredible battling from you. You with Gavin Moore and Kurt Moss. How was it?
It was pretty fun. I don't have a whole lot of seat time in this game, but I really enjoy these cars. They're really fun. Unfortunately, I just made some really stupid mistakes. I think I locked the brakes in the first race, and I ended up hitting Smalley. And then the second race, again, same corner, just locked the brakes and then just understeered right into a wall. And I ended up picking up, I think, 25 seconds of damage in the second race. So I was pretty much done. First race, I actually I had less damage, and I was actually slower with less damage. It was interesting.
I guess that seat time really does help.
It does. I'll definitely need to practice more. The brakes on this car, the ABS, as soon as it intervenes, the car just plows. You can kind of get around it with the brake bias by just shifting more rearwards, but even so, my setup wasn't the best. I made it really pointy, like really stiff at the rear, and it was probably a little bit too much. But either way, it was a learning experience, and I had fun. I enjoyed it. I'm pretty worn out, but I had a lot of fun at least.
Oh, congrats on the great racing. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out, but
It's all fine.
I'm sure next race I'm going to see you fighting up for the podium. You are a quick driver, and you've only raced, I think, one other race with us before in one of our championships, but you made that very clear there. So I'm sure a lot of the drivers are going to be surprised seeing you qualify in the first 2 rows.
What's the next track? Is it Coda?
I'm definitely not checking. It is Coda. Yes.
Oh no, I don't like Coda at all. I most of the tracks here I actually haven't driven before, so Watkins Glen's and Brands Hatch were the only 2 tracks I've actually driven a little bit. So everything else I'm going in like just green.
Well, good luck with it. Then you'll really need the seat time. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, I had a lot of fun. So
thank you.
I'm just here to have I'm just here to have a good time. So
thank you for joining us, Colyn. It looked like you had a great time. I'm gonna throw you back up in the race chat and appreciate you again.
All right, thanks.
All right, let's talk with Eric Diaz. Hey, Eric, I have you in the commentators booth. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. You definitely caught me off guard, I'll definitely admit.
I caught you off guard?
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a
broadcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Okay, I didn't know there was a post-race interview.
Well, are you okay with being interviewed? Just want to make sure before I continue.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, congratulations on the podium. I saw you were P2. It looked like you had a 9-second gap to Peter with only 6 minutes remaining. What happened?
Simple. The Copes don't like me.
Oh, no.
As for a car that's this small, I'm pretty sure you can understand. The Copes, they don't like it very much if I touch them. And I touched them twice, and they said no twice.
Yeah, the curbs can be a little punishing at times, but it looked like overall you were doing really good. I think race 1 you were having a great battle with Jeffrey Bray. I think you two know each other fairly well from other series, correct?
Yeah, we were racing another series in 604. I don't know if it's fine if I say the Discord, right?
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's them racing 604. We raced still in the GT championship. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe both of you drive in pro, and it's nice to see you join us. Thank you for joining.
No problem. Just doing my best with this KTM. I at least got it in the podium, so I say I'm doing something right.
You are doing a lot right. Congratulations on the podium, blazing fast. I'm gonna throw you back down in the race chat, but thank you for the great interview.
No problem.
All right, and I think we have time for 2 more. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a unexpected interview. I'm sure he's not expecting to end up in the commentators booth. Tom Shirley. Hey, Tom, you're in the commentators booth.
Why?
Well, I saw some action from you throughout the race.
I just thought I'm here for comedic results, and yeah, I'm glad to be here.
No, I won't say we saw a ton, but throughout the race, it looked like you were having relatively close gaps to people. It looked like you were having good fighting going on. Well, how do you feel like it went?
I think it went better than the first race, but I know there's places where I could find just a little bit more speed. It's just getting more confident in my driving, and it's just going to come with more practice and whatnot. But it was fun. Yeah, it was a good fight with some of the guys, and I felt like it could have been a little bit closer, but that was a lot of it was my own doing. But a lot of those guys are really good drivers too, so it was really tough to stick with them.
You did a pretty good job, and watching it was really entertaining every time I got to see you in a fight. I tried to make sure we're getting all the fights throughout the field instead of just the top 10. And
awesome, thanks.
I think we saw you quite a bit.
How about that? Sweet, I appreciate it.
No problem. Well, I'm gonna throw you back into the race chat, but congrats on having a good race. Hopefully you do find that pace you're looking for with the seat time.
Oh yeah, it'll come. Just got to be patient with it and all that. But I appreciate you having me, Dave.
No problem. Thank you, Tom. I'm gonna throw you back up. Alrighty, to finish it out, we have Jordan Nixon in the commentators booth. You're showing up here an awful lot.
Am I? More than normal?
I think I've interviewed you 4 times across the series now.
Am I that interesting? I didn't know I was interesting.
On track? I don't know.
Oh, just on track. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear my voice going out.
You tired of talking?
There was a lot to talk about. But
Yeah. I got to witness Peter's death firsthand.
yeah, what happened there?
He just got a little too aggressive on the bus stop. Took a little too much curb and spun out. He got lucky though because I think he said he only took like 6 or 7 seconds of damage, so he still ended up second by the end. I was really hoping he would, lose a few more spots so I could open up the, our point gap. So now basically we just traded. It was even today, so whatever the point difference between second and third is, that's the difference.
A good commentator would know, but
It's
I do not.
going to be a crazy season because it's going to be back and forth because we're pretty evenly matched as it is.
And with TJ,
And then, of course,
okay.
Yep. No, go ahead.
With TJ using his one drop race this race, any other race missed, and I believe you would be in first. It's actually you probably are in first right now. So congratulations leading the championship.
Well, thank you. It's very premature, but I'll take it while I can.
I mean, a third of the way through, but it's leading is leading. I'm jealous because I've only ever led one championship, and that was for a race. So
Hey, you led once. That's all that matters.
Eh,
But I have a question for you, very serious.
uh-oh.
Do you believe in the Maserati now?
All right, well, that's all the time we have for Jordan Nixon. I'm going to go ahead and throw him back up into the race chat. Thank you for your time, Nixon, and congratulations on your win. It looked like it came out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, you
I see
clearly
how
had
it is.
you clearly had the pace, but I think Peter had you beat on this one.
Yeah, Peter had just like, especially race 1, he had like a 10th on me. Like it was really close. I just couldn't quite keep up, and definitely didn't have enough speed to get by him. So it was fun though. Great battle.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw you back up in the race chat. I'm glad you had a good time.
All right,
Bye,
thanks.
Nixon. So before I go ahead and throw us up to the ending soon page, I'm going to go ahead and remind everybody we stream on both Twitch and YouTube. Please give us a follow if you're on the YouTube stream, and so you can watch some more of our broadcasts. And if you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We'd love to see you there. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers right now because I believe at that point we get a custom URL. So just makes us look a little bit better whenever we're linking our channel to people. Yes, no comment on the Maserati. I do want to go ahead and say thank you again to Trackalicious, who hosted us with 12 people, or rated us with 12 people. Really appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and throw it to the ending soon page. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but my voice is virtually gone, and I should have it back by next Tuesday. So I'll see everybody there at CODA. Thanks for tuning in.